Good evening, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to No Scene, set for Death of the Dark Crusade, Season 2. But not set in Odessa itself. We once again revisit the foreign domain of Timeraan. Domain owned by the Sombra clan, and where a very, very large and prestigious Elysium is to be held. This location chosen due to its general commitment to neutrality regarding the affairs of other domains in the region.
Hashtag political stability is for losers.
Because the Stellites are so politically stable. That's right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Their domain didn't burn down. Everything's fine. Well, the prophet's got to do. I get off topic. As this place is neutral ground, it has been chosen as the site for a large Elysium to determine the claims of praxis and settle them for the nearby city of Odessa, the capital of the county that shares the same name, that houses quite a few many domains within it, that have all been going many changes of their own. Malatia having fallen, the last vestige of the Nosferatu Empire falling under Los Sombra fangs, Bera seemingly switching hands twice over from Toreador to Ventru, from Ventru to Toreador. And then you have the other cities, which seem to resemble something stable, but everybody knows that to some extent or another, that war, conflict, it is coming, if it has not already arrived. After all, Canaanites are often not so open about their intentions, nor are they so open about how they do business. This being perhaps something of an exception. See, everyone who enters Elysium, there is a servant, a butler, a steward of sorts, who guide you all through the castle itself. The castle being mounted on a hill, the center of this town. As you walk through, it appears to be a combination of a fort and an actual living space for the city's up and coming, or well, not up and coming, already there. The ones who run the city itself. The royalty, the nobility. And you pass down a small network of corridors. It's ever so slightly labyrinthine, not so much that you probably couldn't find your way back to the entrance, but if you were to start veering off into other rooms, you'd probably get a little bit confused as to where you are. But eventually you make your way to these two rather large doors, obviously to the main hall itself, the main hall of Elysium, where everything from simple gossip to high-stakes negotiations are taking place. And anyone who's been here before will notice a few differences. The room appears fairly substantially renovated. it appears that the room appears, the hall itself appears a little bit larger, not massively so, but definitely more spacious. The walls have been decorated with elaborate tiling that runs its way up to the ceiling, invariably connected to the mosaic itself. And speaking of the mosaic, on the ceiling, to anyone who has not been here before, they can see a mosaic depicting the prince and his two favored child, Adonia and Irene, in a rather rapturous-looking garden by a lake. The windows are at the far end of the room are stained glass. One depicts a faceless angel. Another depicts a fairly grand, noble yet draconic-looking figure. And the other depicts a royal figure in dark robes. With a golden crown in stark contrast to the sort of black armaments that the figure seems to possess. All of them are faceless. The windows off to the side are very clear, and you have an absolutely stunning view of the city. And there are doors off to the side that lead to balconies for calmer conversations. Although they seem fairly preoccupied right now, this place is bustling with activity. There are dozens of Canaanites here. You think perhaps even over 100. It's possible that that travelers have come in to attend this sort of grand conclave of sorts. There are unfamiliar faces among the more well-known ones of Edessa. Timeranian Canaanites who are also present. It's just a cacophony of noise and chatter and gossip, laughing and yelling. And something to point out, actually, is something you don't notice immediately because they've been pulled back, but there are curtains off to that would cover these windows and the mosaic that have been pulled back. They appear to be made of strands and threads of gold. Even people without any sort of commercial skill or knowledge whatsoever could only imagine these curtains to be worth an exorbitant amount of money and to be unimaginably well crafted. An immense amount of time, if not effort, must have been spent on the crafting of this finest of fabrics. Enough that it might even rival or surpass Gouffron's own. The gasp.
Impossible.
Yes, Johanna's legacy is curtains. I feel like this is fitting. And it should be noted, one last thing. I said at the far end of the room there are 3 stained glass windows. These stained glass windows are almost like as high up as the ceiling. Like they're placed very far up the wall, and there is a sort of 3 very large thrones in front of each stained glass window. Presumably where the prince and his charger may sit, if there is to be an announcement of sorts.
It is into this elysium that there are several kindred, as said already, but one of these is the seneschal of this very auspicious and very fine city. She's currently walking with a large man just by her side. Some people might recognize this guy and recognize that him and her has been traveling together, and well, they've been side by side for some time now. And with all of these things, wherever the prince might be, these two will approach him at this time.
Thorvald is wearing his best, as it were, a sort of black leather armor piece that resembles what you'd imagine a Roman centurion to wear. With sort of gold epaulets and a couple of gold beads in his beard. Seems to be attired at his best for the occasion, and he sticks very close to Madeline, towering over her in a sort of protective but also quite submissive way.
And she will go up to the prince, and she will just say, "My prince, might I have a moment of your time?"
It takes you a bit to find the prince.
Oh, okay.
He, for his part, he's dressed in the finest noble garments of purples, blues, and golds. And he simply turns to you. Of course, what is it that you require of me, Miss Seneschal?
Merely wish to hold up traditions. I wish to introduce you my new student. You have heard of him, but it is the first time he is here, and it would only be proper manners if he was introduced to you in the normal way. And she curtsies and just, "Torvald, neonate of Klein Gangrel, may I present to you Prince Ulrich, former Prince of Edessa, now Prince of Timeraan, and Scylla of Clan La Sombra."
Thorvald starts dipping into what looks like a bow and then goes down to one knee, lowering his head respectfully to the prince.
Considering you're wearing probably a little bit larger, it's probably a fairly great, you're quite a large man, so you're probably like, like half a head taller than Ulrich. But you bow down. He simply looks at you. Nobody really seems to pay this mind. There are some people just kind of paying casual attention to what's going on because the prince is doing a thing, and that's a big deal. He simply looks at you for a moment. Before saying, "Torvald, welcome to my elysium."
Thank you, Johannes.
Have you just arrived recently? He says to his seneschal.
Yes, I've seen two things, but well, out of character. Is he asking about her trip, or is he just asking about in general?
He's just asking if you arrived to the Elysium just now. But also, something quick to note: does anyone have weapons on them?
Madeline does not.
Yeah, I forgot to mention they'd be taken from you on arrival. One of the rules of Elysium is that you may not have weapons within unless given express permission from the keeper. You may be armored, but you may not carry weapons.
Yes, well, we had several preparations. I needed to make sure that, well, my clothing and Torvald's clothing was in order to fit the occasion. We could not have something as scandalous as me turning up in something not fitting the occasion.
I see. Well, Torvald, you come here with my Seneschal's blessing, so far be it from me to refuse you entry here tonight. You have the same guest rights as everybody else who has arrived here. I trust that you will hold the rules of Elysium to the utmost severity, and do enjoy yourself.
He bows his head respectfully, in agreement with the prince's terms.
How have your nights been? He kind of says to both of you.
He slowly looks up to Madeline as if looking for permission to stand.
She nods to him with a smile.
Yeah, Ulrich is kind of busy to rise at this point because he's engaging in casual conversation.
He stands up.
It makes... it's quite alright. It makes conversation so very hard. And she just smiles at Torvald. And, there's kind of a smirk in there, but she just says, they have been very well. With this occasion, I must say I have been looking forward to it. Well, we might hopefully soon be beyond this turmoil. We can put the plague and, well, the unpleasantness behind us.
Yes, I do hope that this Elysium will solve some of the underlying issues that have plagued Odessa for some time.
We can only hope.
We're all made to dream. I'm sure if nothing else, some sort of settlement, if not declaration, will be made here throughout the course of the week.
Do we expect to see this illustrious bourgeois tonight?
Invitations have been sent out to all. I would be surprised and somewhat offended if he did not attend. After all,
is that an appropriate excuse?
He is one of the many reasons that this Elysium was held. It would be very impolite if he were to ignore it.
Quite so.
But I'm sure he'll be in attendance shortly.
I look forward to it. Please, if there is anything that the keeper... I understand that she is most likely busy, but if there is anything I can assist with, please let me know. I will be tending to our guests.
Of course. I wish you all well.
And speaking of guests,
No,
Gufran
get out of
will,
here.
Gufran will stride into Elysium and is apparently thrown out right at the start because Chris is an angry god. No, Gufran will enter Elysia, go to the hole, go through the whole security pish posh. When he enters the great room, he will once again focus every single bit of his attention on the large mosaic depicting Irene.
It
And
has got curtains of it now. It's even more extravagant than it was before.
yes, yes, yes. He's just standing there, captivated like a toreador. Ah.
Has Irene just exploded by now? No, I'm just wondering.
Irene hasn't. Her player, on the other hand.
Oh, her player.
This mosaic.
I'm gonna mute
is
you,
a
Chris. Stop it.
sign
Stop
of a
it. Stop
genuine
it.
art
Stop
form.
it. Stop it. Good.
That's okay, Chris. You can
It
type
is
it in the chat.
exquisite.
I hate you.
It's just so
Irene will
beautiful.
silently.
Just Irene, Arik, and Nadanya there. Just one happy family.
Well, Irene will very carefully drop the curtains in front of the mosaic, which is what they were meant to hide.
You don't have permission to do that.
No, that's why she's doing it silently. Oh, no, I didn't know. It's
Hey,
not
look
what
at
the
this,
robe
look at
is
this cute
for.
little doorstep. Oh my. Oh. Well, as you kind of trundle on off to see if you can sneak through the curtains of the mosaic, the keeper will approach you. As I will not even try to do an accent for her because I just can't. I've tried in the past.
Okay.
It's good to
What?
see you again, Irene.
Yeah, why the fuck not? Irene will turn around and face the keeper and curtsy.
Sure, Babak. She's in bright red robes that it's slightly odd. In some ways, they resemble nun's vestments, but they're bright red and well colored, and quite well adorned. And she will curtsy to you as well. She looks, yes, very, very well composed for how busy she is. And we'll just say, how are you enjoying Elysium?
It's been a while since I have seen these halls so busy. I think it's a welcome change. Just hope everybody is able to relax somewhat besides all the politics and to enjoy this Elysium because it has been organized so splendidly. Thank you for this.
I merely maintain and hold the Elysium. I do nothing more. I could not have arranged something so grandiose by myself. But what you are witnessing is once in a century, maybe many. I doubt you'll see these halls so busy for a very long time.
Well, you and your team deserve all honors. The place looks beautiful.
I can only hope I have served well. How has Edessa been? I hear it has been under a great struggle, of course. The great many visitors here are here due to that very reason, but I have not been there myself. I hope you have not been too hard struck as the city has.
No, I've been so fortunate that most events seem to have gone past me.
I see, good.
Is that a lie? I mean,
You've been kind of making bank, other than having to abandon your herd. It's a grey area. Like,
yeah,
you could say you've been hard struck at the same time. You have kind of
not
profited
really.
immensely off the crisis. So, hey, give and take, right?
I mean, oh really?
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, how do you respond to that?
I mean, the way she did. She
Is
said
it,
that she was blessed or fortunate enough to not been struck personally by the events occurring in the city.
Perhaps you have been marked as a sign of mercy then. I hear many of my own clan have run into iller fates, sadly.
I'm very sorry to hear.
It is quite alright. We shall survive and thrive as we always have.
I know several members of your clan. One of them is in my coterie even. And I find them to be resilient, resourceful, and with a lot of inner strength.
I find a common link between our clan and yours is that we tend to stand tall even in our darkest hours.
I can only
Though I
agree with that.
suppose for your clan that is far less of a concern.
Thorwald is looking around for his sire to see if she's there.
As she is. 1 second. Well, I actually hit the image, I don't. Yeah, she is very differently dressed than normal. There you go.
He, as soon as he sees her, he sort of bows his head to Madeline briefly, but then he hasn't seen her in a while, and the blood bond pulls him. And he will walk over to her and it's not quite seemly to kneel to her in the same way that he did the prince. So instead, he goes into a deep bow.
She has her hands steepled by her stomach and just kind of tentatively walks around to your side for a moment and just says, "Good evening."
Good evening, mistress. Are you well?
Quite. I will need to talk to you later.
He bows his head. I'll stay within eyesight.
Of course. Enjoy your time with Madeline.
He nods. And then he returns to Madeline's side.
You see Madeline, you see a familiar figure across the hall. Gaia just gives you kind of a sage nod of acknowledgement.
And she will return the gesture. And her best.
Smiles faintly.
And Madeline will be overjoyed to see her here. This is such a joyous occasion.
Oh, sorry, do you say that to her?
No. I'm just commenting on the situation.
Absolutely joyous, yes. Gufran, who are you making your way over to?
Gopher's just making small, pleasant, polite conversation with everybody, and then he sees Ari.
There are so many faces. Half of them you don't even know.
That's okay. Now I do.
Yes. You can talk to Irene about this stunning mosaic and how it captures her both her
That has
outfit
already
and
been
her beauty.
discussed.
It's
perfectly.
okay. It'll happen again. So that
It can never be restated enough.
Gopher's going to just slide over towards Princess Irene Agiris.
Oh, shut up.
Little princess. Oh my.
She's not a princess. God damn it.
Right,
yeah.
she's certainly not
You don't
little
have a-
anymore.
You do not have a claim to the throne as you are adopted,
Exactly.
but you still have princess tattoo. And he will slide his way over and just stand before her, wave his little arm, puts his right hand on the left side of his chest, and bow. Hello, Irene.
Irene will curtsy. Very polite. With not a single hint of mockery in the way she's doing it. So, Gufran, a pleasure to see you here.
Yes, it's been quite some time since I've been here, and I must say, I quite like how it is here. There's so many people, so many wonderful conversations, so many wonderful people, and as well, the great and majestic architecture. Oh,
I'm very
The decor-
pleased to hear that you're enjoying yourself, so Gufran.
the decorations are so very nice as well. I must say, you absolutely look radiant on that mosaic. You look radiant in person as well, but this is just majestic.
Thank you, Sir Gufran.
How does she look?
She has blusher health.
Yeah, besides that.
I will roll peony on her
roll,
if I
yeah.
have to.
Irene, people are talking. They're whispering about how exquisite this
Ugh.
is, how utterly magnificent.
So, appearance subterfuge or appearance etiquette to just, be calm and
Just
composed? Can I do that with
gorgeous.
appearance etiquette?
Incredible.
Okay, you're not gonna answer me. I'm just gonna take it. Fuck that.
Unfathomable.
I have 2 successes. You will probably beat that. There you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go.
See? See?
We'll keep this roll for the rest of the hangout
Wait, why do you have 8?
because I have a specialty in etiquette.
Holy Jesus. Alright.
I decided to make sure that I would have the most useless specialty first. So my one and only specialty is in etiquette.
Dun, 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 dun. Ah. Damn it, I really wanted to see her all flustered and angry.
Nope. You will not get that pleasure.
Damn it. Why? Why do you deny me?
Because I am a La Sombra.
Sombras are not dark and moody, whatever. See, look at Lady Madeline. She's not dark and broody.
Who says Irene looks dark and broody? If anything, she looks radiant and very,
You're right. The radiance of Irene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he'll just kind of wait for a response, and seeing as that's all he's getting, he's just kind of like, okay. So how do you enjoy yourself so far? Have you had any wonderful conversations so far? Have you met any wonderful people so far? I have. That gentleman over there is an exquisite fellow. That lady over there is marvelous.
It's so good to hear, well, your reviews on other attendants. You always are so positive. It's just delightful.
Why would I not be?
I would not know, but someone like you brightens up the entire room.
The praise. Surely you must mean yourself, my lady.
There is a certain openness that you have.
It's so flat. So flat. His girlfriend's just getting annoyed by it.
Good.
So he'll just.
Excellent.
He just like he smiles. There's like just a tiny twitch to it.
Perhaps. If they play music and people are asked to dance, would you do me the honor of dancing with me again, like we did last time?
Nothing would please me more, Sir Gufran.
Oh. I'm sure there are many things, but to be on top of your list, I'm truly honored. Thank you so much.
The pleasure is all mine.
Oh, well, no. The pleasure will be both of ours. For I know that it is a pleasure to dance with me, and I know that it is a pleasure to dance with one such as yourself, my lady.
Well, Gufram, if you are offering to show people for a dance, I must take you up on that as well. If you have the time, of course.
And he just spins on his heels. Faces Lady Madeline, makes the same bow. He says, "My Lady Madeline, why, of course, I would love to have the opportunity to dance with one so gracious as yourself."
I will take you up on that later. It's good to see that you have not lost your flair in these trying times.
Why, I absolutely believe that it is a necessity to act with the positive mind in thought. One cannot surrender to despair, to distrust. One cannot live without hope. And so I will deliver the distraction and the joy to people.
Madeline just seems to consider you for a moment, and she will just say, "Well, I have others I must talk to, but please. It is good to see that you keep Irene company. Mm, your the two of yours friend, Ikleos, is he here tonight?
I have not encountered him yet.
Well, it would be good to see all of Irene's fellows here.
Lord Ecleos is a very busy man. He studies so much.
That is true.
Yes,
Merely
he
thinking.
has a great tendency to get lost in his own books.
Indeed.
Oh, we
An
are
admirable quality.
quite a few people who get lost in that sense, aren't we? And she looks to Gufran. A little bit more of a hint of a grin. She smiles to him.
Guffin's going to roll perception empathy on that.
Go ahead.
Excellent.
I will roll the thing.
You want to try and hide what you're trying to convey?
Let's just do it for the sake of this. Wow.
Well, I'm not going to
okay.
be able to beat that.
Wow, that's insane. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have enough dice to beat that, Peter.
I'm sorry. Like it's 7 out of 6. That's a success. That's insane. Well, after that, like Madeline will just say, "Wait, do mingle, and please remember, all of you, to compliment the Keeper of Elysium. He has put a lot of work in it. It is only good manners to make sure that a host is appreciated for her work."
Gufran gets a sly grin on his face and looks over towards the keeper's location, and then kind of just focuses back on Madeline. I most assuredly will do so, my lady.
You seem to be always in good spirits. That is something that so many people in the city could learn from. So much naysaying, brooding. You are correct, Gufran. You are wise for your age.
Oh, the compliments, they strike me. And they make my dead heart beat once more, my lady. I am so grateful. Thank you ever so much for the kind words.
Gord's just watching this strange man. Thinking strange little man. I don't really have anything to say about it. He's got this kind of like look about him that just slightly perplexed, I suppose.
And Madeline will curtsy or do a little bow of acknowledgement as she will go over and probably just strike up conversation with the person currently being displayed on Chris's screen.
Oh, the good lady. She comes to you. Yeah, she kind of like, as you're discussing, she kind of puts her hand on your shoulder and Irene's.
Ah, good evening.
Don't care to leave me out of the latest gossip, do you?
I would not dream of it. But, well, gossip is not always... One must be quick.
Yes! That is why I'm here. I couldn't bear to be late. Is this your new student?
It is.
He dips a bow to the lady in question.
Oh, no. She, kind of grabs you the shoulders and kind of puts you upright. No, you don't have to do that with me. It's completely inappropriate. I am Talifa, the harpy of this domain.
In which case, Lady Harpy, then I did not see any person in which manners is more appropriate. He smiles.
Ooh, silver tongue, this one. See what you chose him. She nudges your elbow.
Kobold has many redeeming qualities.
I can imagine.
But it is his knack for study and what he has already learned. And that really sets him above most others.
That's it. Thanks.
She winks.
She's just like, yeah, I'm sure that's it. Winks.
Okay.
And we'll just say, we'll just kind of does a double take at Irene and says, oh, Irene, you're looking absolutely beautiful today. Just like out of the mosaic. A true work of art come to life, I see.
Irene will curtsy and she'll smile. Thank you very much. That is quite a compliment you're giving me. I don't think that the reality can do the mosaic any form of justice.
Rather it is simply emulation of its magnificent source material.
You compliment me too much tonight.
Gufran will take a bow towards the lady as she has approached them, and will simply say, no, it's simply the truth. The truth, Lady Irene, for you look absolutely radiant.
This man understands. I take it this must be your coterie mate, Irene.
Indeed.
Well, surely you would only associate with men and women of such culture as this.
Oh, where are my manners? Let me apologize, my lady. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Gufram Wasem, of the clan of Set. Humble neophyte.
I've heard of you. The master rug merchant, if I recall correctly.
Book merchant? Oh,
Rug.
rug merchant.
Rug merchant. She literally snaps her fingers as she's recalling and then points as if like, yeah, I've heard of you, that sort of motion.
Carpets and pillows. And, well, these days I trade in a lot of rats and silks as well.
It's only smart to diversify.
Exactly.
A smart businessman does not put all his eggs in one basket.
No, he does not. I'm honored that you have heard of me, my lady.
To be fair, I know most people here. It is my job after all.
Ah, yes, that is very much true.
I would be devastated if my laxness got me removed from the court. No, no, could not have that happen. And so I must stick my nose in.
A healthy attitude to have, I must say. And from our few minutes of conversation, I can make an accurate conclusion that the court would very much miss your presence should you be removed. So, I will plead to you, my lady. Please, do not do that to these poor people. For they do not know what they would miss.
I could never, as you said, if only for the sake of these people.
And a
She
worry,
won't say these people, she'll say my people.
and a worry will just fall off Gufran's face, like, a sigh of relief.
And besides, I must remain, if only to remind Irene of the majesty of this unimaginable mosaic.
Yes.
She relishes in Irene's torment.
Hey, Irene has like 7 successes showing no torment whatsoever on her face. Fuck you.
I'll make her roll. Yeah, fair enough.
I must agree.
Sorry. 8
The
successes.
mosaic was the first time I saw the mosaic. I was absolutely taken aback. It was truly, it still is truly one of the most beautiful things I have seen in my existence.
From what I recall, it's a mortal creation. It wasn't. I know some have wondered if a Toreador constructed it, but no, it was actually nothing more than a particularly talented human artiste.
How? Interesting.
I find it rather a happy coincidence myself.
Must have surely been a master then, with many decades of experience underneath his belt.
Yes, I can't recall if he's still staying within Timeraan. I believe he's moved on. A shame, a tragedy, in fact.
A tragedy. Yes, that's what this is. I was about to say the same thing. I would have loved to let this man work on something else for myself.
If
I had
only so
only
we
known
could,
beforehand.
if only so we could decorate the walls with one of Irene's beautiful face.
To think that scholars in time's future might wonder over the origin of the lady in the mosaic.
Oh yes. A great beauty lost to history, wouldn't you say, Irene?
Who knows?
Damn.
Sorry, I could not come up with
throwing that shade.
He's just like, fuck it! Stop talking about me! Stop it!
Yeah, it's kind of.
Who knows? But isn't it the case, my lady, that Irene will, the scholars of the future will come upon this great hall and see the great image, and perhaps Irene then still walks this earth. They can draw comparison, and the beauty will never be lost.
We are mine ahead
I'm
of
not
our
laughing at
time.
your character. Corvold kind of smiles. He suppresses a chuckle.
Excellent. One day.
One of these days, one of these days, shakes fist.
I love it because if Irene were to do this to either the Harpy or Gufran, they would just be like, "Oh, don't we look perfect?"
It's a shame that not all beauty can be immortalized.
That's why we have to be selective. And I must say, this is definitely a worthy decision.
Quite so. He counts his head to Madeline.
A shame, truly.
Speaking
But I
of
think we
lovely
will make
things-
Don't you?
Yeah, speaking of lovely things being lost to history. I hear some rather elderly thugs showed up to Odessa recently. This I've heard the name Tactician being thrown around.
With any luck, he has left by now.
Depends. Wasn't there a warning left? I was never there, but I remember hearing about an attempt to blackmail the Cappadocian clan, Prince in particular, something about the Lady of Wrath. Remember some
There
gossip
was.
going around about that, some sort of...
But that would be a concern for the Cappadocians, would it not?
Oh yes, I can only imagine. I mean, considering they more or less walked up to the prince and, well...
Were successful?
I can only imagine. I can only speculate as to why the prince did not answer them, either with a declaration or with action. He was silent the entire time. I find that rather odd. Isn't there a wishing woman as well? So many aliases and masks.
It is
You think
exciting.
if they're just able to walk up to the prince and off him, you'd think they'd be a bit more, stand a bit more proud about the whole matter.
Perhaps,
all the
they still have,
hiding. It's so
perhaps
easy.
the fact that they are still around means that they make good use of those aliases.
I personally see little point if you can just walk up to the domain of the prince and end it all. Why bother hiding? Surely they are front runners for the princedom.
One would think so.
I can only imagine that they might be here right now if they wish to hide so.
That would be an interesting twist to the evening, no?
I jest, of course. They couldn't possibly break this Elysium's defenses. And you thought Odessa's Elysiums were grand.
The Keeper has gone above and beyond. That much is certain.
I haven't seen an Elysium quite this large in my own lifetime, and that's, well, significant. Several centuries. I even spot a few faces from Western Europe here. Can't imagine why they're here.
I could think of a few reasons.
Well, I'm sure the Toreador are here for theatrics. Maybe there are some emissaries from Antioch.
We will see, I suppose.
I know it's a popular supply line for the Ventru to work their influence.
So they grace us with their presence.
The fiefdoms of Black Cross, I believe, had quite a hand in securing Antioch back in the day.
Well, that could be interesting. It's not really a part of the world I have visited or seen much of.
A lot of the Ventru that came from Eastern Europe and Germany were from the Black Cross, you see. Of course, their association has since ended.
You sound almost as if you have traveled there, but
I just hear and see a lot of things.
indeed.
Didn't Odessa's keeper move to Bira?
I think if she has not done it by now, I think she is.
I'm not sure it's actually has it been made a public announcement that happened?
I do believe. Well, you know, such things can drag out. I would not. Sometimes there might be still in the process of moving things from one place to another. That could happen.
Yeah, it's a shame. I rather liked her for how little I knew her.
I wonder, given the opportunity, if you would be considering such a thing, keeper.
Couldn't say. For the first time this evening.
Not believing her one bit. Madeline just.
Fair enough, I'll roll this bitch's 9 dice.
You don't have to, but like.
Lol.
Everything is fine. Alright, like, yeah, Madeline, but yeah. She will just say, "Well, I must be seeing to some of the other guests. Please, excuse me a moment." And
of course, sir, sure. I do not wish to keep you any longer than is absolutely necessary. Do say hi to the neighbours for me.
Oh, I will.
Thor's now playing the awkward game of being both in eye line of Madeline and his sire.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like in the middle of not sort of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, your sire largely ignores you and just gets on with what she's doing, although every now and then when she's ended her conversation, she always seems to have your presence in mind, even when she's not looking at you. Like, she seems to have a good bearing of where you are. Like, she doesn't look around for you when she's done. She seems to know exactly where you are and just gives you a glance to kind of confirm your position, but doesn't really do anything more than that.
If t-shirts were a thing, she would be wearing one that says "Always watching."
Yeah.
You know what I find strange, Gufran?
Do tell, my lady.
Did you hear about what happened to Bera?
Did I hear what happened to Baron?
Bera's been a bit of a mess.
I heard he's been a bit of a mess.
Yes, well, they are under the rather inauspicious rule of Toreador until that very recently came to an end. Some sort of coup of sorts.
Oh. Ugly.
Reclaimed by several Ventru and a small coalition of Brujar and the Tremere.
The Venture and Bruja are working together.
I believe this elder was quite uncooperative in most aspects of everything. I'm not even sure if it was an elder. I think it was about as old as I was. A couple of centuries? Liked calling himself an elder, I think. I remember going through Bureau once. It was quite the interrogation. Oh, God. His sheriff was just insufferable. Fortunately, he's nothing more than a cheap thug, and a few well-placed words here, and a bit of presence there, and he can be sent away packing. Dead now, from what I recall. The coup took his life as well. Strange that the Ventry just giving it back to the Toreador. And the Primogen is moving, and the keeper of Elysium of Odessa is moving to Vera. I can't imagine the Venture had anything to do with this. I wonder if Gerard has anything to say on the matter.
I wouldn't know. You'd have to go ask him. But it is all
He's not here. I don't see him.
very. I was under the impression that Gerard was not invited to these Grand Elysia here in.
Oh yes, La Sombra hates him. A lot of hearsay, but from what I call he ate someone a few decades ago.
Ugh,
Yes.
ugly.
Well, it's just a rumor. It was never proven. Otherwise, he'd be, of course, his life would have been forfeit. But La Sombra are quite convinced. And on top of the fact that there's been a lot of movement from him over the last few years, much like our current prince. Seems like they once had sort of friendly rivalry turned sour. A shame. But it is what it is. That, and I'm sure he could not, I'm sure he didn't appreciate losing his position of Keeper of Elysium.
Everybody has to be mad about something.
And apparently he's mad about a great many things.
Well,
It's unhealthy. He really should learn to let loose, let go a little.
yes, I heard it's terrible for your skin.
Well, that's the Venture way, I suppose.
That
Have to keep
explains
it
why.
all bottled up.
That explains why most of them have terrible skin condition.
Even worse than my own clan. She'll brush her cheek as if to emphasize her clan curse and how even that is better than being a Venture.
Why, my lady? I see no flaws in you.
Oh, you are too kind.
I speak nothing but the truth.
I believe you.
Your friend seems content with this. This is good. Excellent. He likes this lady. I'm ever so glad.
As am I. What about you, Irene? Do you believe this fine, upstanding gentleman? She just casually wraps an arm around Irene, like, yep. Welcome to your prison.
Irene will, first of all, feel, although she won't show, very awkward about this arm being wrapped around her. That's like, So she'll just kind of put a step aside, without, like, trying to be rude or anything.
You ain't going anywhere.
Eh. I have no reason not to believe Sir Gufran. He's been of great assistance over the past time that I've spent in Odessa. He is one of my most valued friends.
Oh, how lovely. Can you share perhaps some of your exploits with this up-and-coming young harpy? What, pray tell, have you two gotten yourselves into?
Well, more than a few things. Do you wish to share our glorious tales, Milady Irene?
I don't think there is much glorious about our tales. It has mostly been the advice that you've given me that has been of true value. I am ill-equipped to tell epic tales.
Well, I am not too great at that myself, but I can tell an entertaining one. As for the advice, you will have to be the own judge of whether or not that is worth to tell. For, well, you were the recipient. But. Our first tale was, as you've no doubt heard, a long time, quite a while ago, there were some, shall we call them, intrusions into the domains of Odessa. They were being disturbed, and they were, well, breached. Not just in hospitality, but also the silence of the blood was in danger. And so, this was when Prince Ulrich had volunteered his services to the Sheriff of Odessa as a hound. And he gathered up some promising neonates and fledglings. Bated breath. Why are you baiting your breath, Chris?
Oh,
Do you want me to tell every single plot that has happened in Odessa so far, Chris? Is that what you want?
no.
Nah, she just blushes on with bated breath. I'm just like, all eyes on you, it seems.
Yes, just like I wanted it.
Irene, your attention is being stolen from you. What the fuck?
That's
No
all
one's
right.
looking at you. What's going on? It's not alright, you're a gallant. Where's all your friends? They're ignoring you. What's going on?
No, they're not. It's only well.
Okay, I guess you're gonna start losing willpower
Okay, sure.
then. Love me. Okay, stop. No.
Yeah.
Stop. Yes, do continue.
Gufran will continue his brave tale of the meeting that took place in the halls of the Hound's quarters. As he will tell the tale of Garland.
Oh no. Yeah. Irene smiles slightly, widens.
He tells the tale of Garland.
I tell the tale of Garland. I'm a spy.
Oh, I know Garland. I remember him from the last Elysium. Oh, what a sad boy. What a sad, sad boy.
Well, it is, in fact, never boring around him.
I can imagine it's not calling yourself a spy for your clan in front of a former prince. That doesn't seem like something a spy would do.
No. No, he would later corrected himself to a diplomat.
A diplomat.
Or rather,
Certainly not a spy.
Prince Ulrich later corrected him to a diplomat.
Our prince is most merciful. Very, very merciful. So merciful, in fact, I feel like I don't really deserve him as a prince because I would not be as merciful.
It was an entertaining evening.
Yes. As well as, the salubri, of course, up to their base. But
I can only imagine with you. Well, sorry, I can only imagine it was so entertaining with Garland and yourselves on this brilliant mosaic.
on the brilliant mosaic, yes. I believe my lady Irene and Lord Ulrich had to have a small discussion at a later date during this meeting. And then it was just myself and, well, Mr. Garland and a member of Clan Salubri in our little room, and she seemed awfully focused. So I just started to mess around a bit, and I couldn't help but notice her heightened senses as she reacted to my every tap on the table. It was quite enjoyable to watch. And, she even noticed that the door had swung open before it did. It was almost as if she could hear it. And as I am understood, she then decided to blame me for it. Oh, the poor little sheep.
Yes, one should not tangle with wolves as a lamb.
I agree. Though, I will say, in her defense, my clan has a reputation that's very well earned. I will not beat around this bush. So, perhaps there was a manner of truth to it. Perhaps I was at fault. Perhaps my mere presence drove her to such act. I do not know, for I do not know her. But I know the salubri, and their opinion is not very high. At least where we are concerned.
I can imagine they made a lot of enemies. To their own detriment. Isn't the Primogen of the Saluri supposed to be here? He's certainly not here yet. You wouldn't be able to miss him.
Not the Crusader.
Yes, she air quotes of the Crusader. Been in all 1 to 4 of them. It worked out so well the first time.
Well, let us not speak ill about the past, shall we?
You're right, I should just restrict it to this one individual.
Exactly. After all, the affairs of mortals are a bit bloody.
Yes.
So very, very ripe for
Terribly
food,
so.
but to waste of it as well.
What's your take on those stained glass windows? I've been asking around, from what I hear it's supposed to be some sort of interpretation on the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. I don't see it.
Well, the mosaic.
Hmm. No, not a mosaic. It's stained glass windows behind the three thrones.
Wow. Well, perhaps it's a hidden meaning inside of stained glass itself.
Hmm. Perhaps it's strange. Most members of the court have been rather mum on it. I always feel like I'm being left out of discussion. She looks all huffy and puffy. No, everything is about the mosaic, Irene. Everything. Everything is about the mosaic. It's all about the mosaic. Those stained glass windows, they're just there to emphasize the majesty of the mosaic. That's right. Well, did you hear about the Markavians?
Have I heard about the Malkavians?
Nah.
No.
From what I hear, they've been, what was his name? Apollo? Even some of our own from Timeraan have been rather less than lucid recently.
Really?
Apparently something is about to occur.
Interesting.
Good to know.
You say good to know, but do we really know anything at all? There's always something about to happen. Saying it's going to be so is just well, it's not a prophecy at all, it's just a statement of fact. So, not anything relevant. I know a lot of them have been losing their minds about some other sort of end of the world scenario. I wonder how many apocalypses we're going to need before they get it right.
Or perhaps they work in such ways that they have averted many apocalypses, making us unaware of all the tragedies the Earth has been exposed to.
I'm sure the clan known for spontaneity and outright lunacy is behind many solving of catastrophic problems and not the cause.
I was merely philosophy. Blah blah.
Did you know it was not the Ventru that started the Punic Wars? It was a Malkavian.
I see.
As I said, they tend to be less the solution to things and more its catalyst. Fortunately, the ones in our court are very well behaved. I'm not sure I can say the same for the ones in Odessa. Unfortunate. Woe be to those who would decide to partner up with those guys.
Excuse me, what did she say?
Woe be to those who would decide to partner up with them.
Okay.
I don't like them. That's what she's saying.
Mm.
Not just the ones in Odessa, the ones in Timeraan are fine, because they're my Malkavians, damn it.
Madeline has been making her rounds. She's coming back now. She's more of like politely talking to as many people as she can. She's not the keeper, but she is introducing people and making sure. And she will just quickly just come back and look for Torvald, who she left at the Tender Mercies.
He's been. I wouldn't say he's been mingling. He's been kind of like. Thorvald definitely stands out in this Elysium environment because, despite the fact that he's, a kindred, he kind of still almost acts like a ghoul. He kind of he's keeping a very close eye on Madeline. He seems to sort of stiffen slightly if someone gets a little bit too close. That's more to do with recent events than anything else.
You're approached by your sire. As she kind of approaches you, she kind of walks by you and motions for you to walk with her.
Thorvald lowers his head and follows his sire 3 paces behind. Almost immediately, without saying anything.
They will briefly depart from the halls of Elysium onto one of the more vacated balconies. She comes to a halt. She will turn to you, but not towards the doors, to the side of the balcony, so her voice may not travel far and travels away from the Elysium. My estate was assaulted by hunters.
Thorvald's jaw tightens.
There are few who know the place of my haven.
Very few. When did this happen?
A few weeks ago. To my knowledge, there are 4 within Odessa that know the location of my haven. 1 being you, 1 being Madeline, and 2 Ganrel. 1 of which is the Primogen.
I've been so busy dealing with matters in the city, I haven't been to the wilds in some time. Only when I delivered message to your courier about staying away from Odessa due to the presence of the tactician. Perhaps some of the gang have been carelessly hunting in the woods.
Perhaps.
With the plague, hunger could have got the better of them, but it doesn't explain why they would come to your haven.
I want the truth discovered.
What happened to the building?
No serious damage. Madeleine must be investigated.
He nods.
Neither myself nor the clan will stand for attempted breaches of our domain by mortal witch hunters. Such recklessness is the doom of us all. If, from what I hear around the court, that little Sombra have been active in their politicking, she is perhaps the most suspect. Discover the truth.
Yes, mistress.
Find evidence either exonerating her or implicating her.
It will be done.
Good. Have a pleasant evening. She will turn towards the balcony and just kind of rest her arms on it and stare out.
She'll probably feel his presence for a few moments as he's watching her before he turns away. Takes himself back into the main hall.
I think with that, we can end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing for the first day of this 7-scene marathon. And thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time.